You! I told you that you'd be sent back to New York if you ever crossed my path. Arrows can fly. What do you know about superheroes, Baker girl? Big 8! How about fighting someone your own size?
Sweeter, more refined, and much nicer.
But I love you, and I always will, even if the whole world hates you.
What the hell was that?
They fucked it up!
Originally, I wasn't planning to make this video, but as time passed, this episode keep getting worse and worse in my opinion. I had to do this video because I had to share my thoughts because honestly, this episode, Queen Banana, the 8th episode of Miraculous Ladybug, is the worst. It definitely ruins something I do like about Chloe and pretty much bastardized it, and I will be discussing later on throughout this video how much they screwed the pooch with her and why I think this episode is so bad. But I had to explain what the series is about first. For those who don't know, and those who've been living in the rock for about God knows, Miraculous Ladybug, Tale of Ladybug and Cat Noir is about a duo of superheroes that take on an evil villain named Hawkmoss, who tries people to get their Miraculouses. Okay, yeah, it sounds like Sailor Moon at best, in saying, hey, what if Sailor Moon is in France? But there's some redeeming parts I do like. Yeah, it's not all serious, it pretty much isn't really originality, but I still like the show. Hell, when even comes with the season 2, it definitely had the stakes higher and higher, and I do continue watching the show. Well, somewhere between of season 3, something must have changed during production of it. I don't really know what happened during those times, but I assume there's something happened of mid-season and after the season 3. And then there's season 4. While many people say that season 3 is bad, but in my humble opinion, season 4 is even worse by standards. Hell, even after that Miraculous Ladybug, now owned by Disney, is still even better than I could imagine. But today, this is the episode that is following up to that season 3 finale, Queen Banana. I've been holding back to this review because there is a lot to say. I already explained it back in the Wikia of Miraculous Ladybug, but that's mostly because I have frustrations on. Here, I have so much problems with the episode that I barely survive. So, with that said, let us begin. And oh boy, this episode is so bad that even fans of the series, some of them I can say, pretty much do say this is one of the worst episodes. Hell, they combine both Soul Crusher and Queen Banana together. And basically enough, even then, there are also websites like Tumblr, which is an inventory of Thomas Arks, the creator of the Miraculous Ladybug series. Well, I'll talk to him a little bit, but for now, there's a lot of problems, especially around season 4. So I'll leave the link to the website. Trust me, everything is better than what the season 4 could say. Now, let me talk about something first. The creator of the show, Atomic Arts. I do learn a little bit from him. He did manage to wrote and direct some of the other animated series, mainly in France. Some of my 4 favorite top 10 Wiki ranked food episodes and pretty more. But lately he became more toxic, which it landed on the worst director / creators at best. A lot of it longer initial, if I pronounce his last name correctly, Paul Anderson, for how much he keeps sequel baiting and pretty much ruining other Capcom video games, Resident Evil and Monster Hunter in general, and now Thomas. Look, I'm not gonna go around the bush. I don't think Thomas is a bad person, but over time with him, especially after season 3, I assume something must have gotten wrong, and pretty much while he is against people who is being toxic, he's being toxic himself. Being because he blocked May trophies. To be fair, it could be art from the. That's why he keeps getting on. So I don't blame that. As for Russell tweets about random stuff with one of his two characters, including people who are toxic, including one about abuse, rape, and a few more. Yes, that happened. But I'm being unfair. I had to watch this episode again to see if anything changed. With that said, you want to know, I can give you the short summary of this episode and what my general thoughts about it. And I can say that there's a very long time I do this, and clearly I had to say it. But here's a short answer to that question. It's bad. It's really bad. There's no redemption to it at best. But before we get to the slandering about this episode, let's talk about some things that I thought was bad, but there's a little thing I do like about this episode. Luckily, there's a little bit, and that's not saying much really. For starters, let's talk about Alin. If I pronounce her name correctly, I do like how she managed to open up, now no longer be afraid to be acting or even being seen. As we see in this episode and other episodes like Mega Leech. Yeah, the point is, I do like how they managed to pull her through after the whole back to season 1 with the monster thing. So I'm glad to do that, and there's a little nod to it. And I do feel like there's some little Star Wars there. And I also kind of like the sending monster for this episode. I don't like the name, so I just call it like BananaCon. I just kind of like BananaCon's design. It's definitely something I do remind me of a lot of King Kong, or even Donkey Kong at best. Hey, name which one you say. Yeah, it's mostly a giant ape, but in terms of what it's designed to be, I thought it was fine. I do like it. I do consider it one of my favorite semi-monsters. But ever had to get any credit, I do actually like Venomous design. Yeah, admittedly, it's not great compared to other Miraculous hero designs. Hell, even Queen Bee design do resemble. But I do like the pattern of it, and I do like it does clash with her hairbands, depending which one you could say. And there's a lot. And before you ask, yeah, there's a lot of concept art throughout the production. Oh, and to be fair, I do like the one we've seen in this show. Well, I don't think the other three are bad. It's just it doesn't work, especially what it's supposed to be a replacement. So to put it simply, yeah, I actually kind of like the design for Prisma. Is it one of my favorites? Not really, but I think it's more okay at best, and definitely a step up from others, and sadly, before this one. But before we get to the bad parts of the episode, here's a little minor and one of my biggest complaints about the plot. That being is the movie plot of the show, of the episode. And I have to ask, why now? I mean, to be fair, in back in the previous episode, it just stated that pretty much the mayor wanted to become a director, and Zoe wanted to be a great actress. So there's a time skip in which it's in a month, but seriously, now after introducing a new character, it just seems a bit too early, and admittedly, it pretty much rushed. But that's kind of minor, because trust me, the rest of the episode is pretty stupid, and admittedly is pretty bad. Let's dive in, shall we? Okay, with that said, the promise of this episode is mainly centered around Chloe, and there's no doubt saying why. Cause let's face it, the writers and the creator hate the character, and make us hate her so much. here's a fun fact. When I watched this episode, it's actually during the same day as my graduation. May I repeat? This actually came on the same day of my graduation. Somewhere in May 28th at best. 30th at best. Given you want to put Germany at least. Or Spain, I don't remember. The point is, this is kind of the same day, so forgive me if there's some things I do get things wrong. With that said, Chloe is more despicable that make the writer to say, Hey Chloe, we don't like her and you should do. It is really disappointing, really. I'm just surprised that this whole entire episode is just made just Chloe hanging at best. Like, even the characters are mostly just acknowledging this. Like, hey, Chloe sucks. You're a terrible actress. You don't deserve Queen Bee. You don't deserve the Miraculous. Blah blah blah. That's pretty much that. And basically not even led to her conversation, which we'll get to later. Though, I have a question and pretty much assert. Why banana? Why banana to be specific? Why banana of all things? I mean, is it because the color reminds you of Queen Bee? If that's the case, no, you're completely wrong. It just came out of random nowhere. It just came out really stupid and really dumb. And the whole reason that she managed to replace Zoe as a actress because she wanted to be in the spotlight. And I will admit, the design for the actor costume, I do kind of like. But why banana specifically? Why banana? It's just really dumb. But you know what, even this episode get even worse? The friendship of both Chloe and Adrian. Why? Why you end it here? At best, maybe a finale, but it's surprisingly wow. This episode is pretty much end the relationship. Basically, Adrian is basically like a lawyer, but Chloe hired a lawyer and it's pretty dumb. And knowledge that the creators hate it. You know, at least with Teen Titans Go, they acknowledge they are garbage. And I'm not saying much. Look, the point is, even when Teen Titans Go acknowledge that their show is bad, including the Thundercats Roar band, you know there's some things that say that the creator pretty much know that this show kinda sucks. And they always mock the fans of it. Though to be fair, the reason I give it most of the pass, cause even the show and fans know it's so bad. So that's mostly because I am avoiding this one. And let's get to the codization of Queen Banana. It is really bad. The Queen Banana is so much worse, even upon rewatching it. I mean, at least with Miracle Queen, it does resemble some good, but Queen Banana is just really dumb. And even keep acknowledging how much Chloe is very much a dictator, and pretty much say that she is willing to do anything. Which I had to say it again. Chloe is not a freaking tyrant. They keep acknowledging this over and over, and how even one of the scenes that give up your dreams, nonsense, blah. It's just really annoying. And even then, there are ideas you could able to fix this, but nope. Thomas and the rest keep saying there's no redemption to Chloe, cause she is forever being downed. And that's for the most part, that the rest of the episodes are just made acknowledging how Zoe is better than Chloe. Zoe's better using the Be Miraculous. Zoe loves this, Zoe loves that. No. And yeah, I know this episode is supposed to be like this, but it's just not that good. Especially when it comes down with the Queen Banana. Like, do I need to be timid about this? I mean, what made me want to say, wow, that looks cool? But really it isn't. It's just a big banana. There's no resemblance, and it's completely dumb. And it doesn't look really cool at best. You know, comparing this episode to this character with Karen Baron. Yeah, admittedly, the whole series of current game mostly combining of fruits and warriors of different entries. But you know what else? They look cool! With Baron it being banana, it makes sense. Banana spirit represents of a javelin, or doing at best. And it does look cool. Hell, even with the action figure that based on the design, it looks even better. That you can see the details, you can see that what made this character so unique. Design, it looks so great, having different personality of honor and such. And when we get to where Kaito, the character of Karen Baron, where become a overlord, which is based on a monster, you can definitely see there is attention to detail. We want to cheer on the villain, you want to fight against it, have his reign end. My point is that Queen Banana design is completely silly and stupid. It doesn't look intimidating. At best, I would just laugh saying, "Oh crap, that is so intimidating." Comparing to the Queen Banana and basically enough, the Overlord design for Baron, at least the Baron Overlord design looks cool and definitely showed that it is the final evolution to the final battle. So basically enough, even when I compare this to Queen Banana, I remember Baron's Overlord design. Queen Banana is just so silly, just mostly a banana-ish design with a bow tie, and that's it. And you know what her superpower is? It's to turn people bananas. No, literally, her power is to turn everyone to bananas. That's just no. And while her semi-monster is definitely look cool, it always served as like her bodyguard. It just mostly just there for the sake of displaying frustrated powers and skills. That's it. There's literally no stopping and literally no time to build it up. It's just padding for this episode. And I haven't mentioned Zoe. Look, I know people like Zoe, so if you do not want me to rant over Zoe, that's fine. Do I really hate Zoe? No, not really. I mean, I like her silver outfit, including her hairband. It definitely was cool. My problem in Zoe in this episode mostly acknowledge how bad Zoe is. As I already mentioned, it's just like this over and over again. And when the most insult to injury is where she gets the Be Miraculous. So, I ask a question. Why is Zoe chosen to be Miraculous? No, seriously. Why was Zoe chosen for the Be Miraculous? Is it because she's nice to Marinette? Is she does any good? No, we don't imagine. She just grabbed it just randomly and there she is. She's now the new Queen Bee. You know, at least with Green Lanterns, as they were chosen in different galaxies, at least there's something there are reasons for their chosen. Hal Jordan, John Stewart, Guy Gardner. Okay, maybe Guy Gardner is kind of goofball, but you can see why they're chosen for a reason. Major fin over. Hell, in Endgame or in comics, Captain America is worthy of Mjolnir. And while I don't have backup evidence, and pretty much I do remember, but I don't, I feel like there's something you could say. There is a reason why Captain is worthy. He saved lives. He knows what to do. He knows how he ends. His sacrifice and everything. And one of the big examples of this video is Wes from Power to Time Force. Wes in the beginning episodes of Time Force, he was mostly just mostly a rich boy that pretty much don't care in life. But when he became a time ranger, his life he wanted to change his future, change fate. He does depend on others and he does depend on them. That's why he managed to fight hard, even to the finale, when everything seems lost. So Wes is the only character left to face off with the Robotrons. In the end, while his ranger pals did later return from the future to the past, You could definitely tell there is a lot of ways that why Eric's word was worthy of it as a Time Ranger. And hey, even then, it does lead him to becoming the next Silver Guardian leader, along with his former best friend, now current best friend, Eric, aka the Quantum Ranger. My point being, characters, if they granted be power, they had to be worthy, give a reason. Zoe do not have a reason why she get to be Miraculous. It does mostly respond saying, "Hey, Zoe deserves to be Miraculous. Screw you. Buy our merch." It just really doesn't make sense when you come to think about it. I mean, outside the design of her hero form, there's barely none of it. Even acknowledging that Ladybug chose me to become defend Paris because you couldn't. You do realize, yeah, admittedly, Queen Bee's outing was bad, at least they're not. Zoe chosen to be doesn't make sense. You know, when Neo became carapace, there's a reason he is worthy of it. In the episode, Asrit, if I pronounce it correctly, Alia's sister pretty much will not allow Alia to go out, and pretty much Neo to challenge her to arm wrestling, which and then with Neo winning due to I assume cheat or something, but also lead Alia's big sister to be kumatized, even landing Alia to be trapped by her own big sister in a giant web because of cartoons. Knowing Neo's fault, Neo decided to face against Arasis to save Alia. And even he gets stopped hard. But you know why I like this scene? Because it's definitely a defined character. Neo is literally know how he will get stomped by her. He knows he gets stomped. That is called sense of bravery. It's definitely shown that he is capable of fighting even when he loses. And but even then, he won't give up, which led to him to becoming carapace, which I don't hate. It definitely showed that his character does change in season 2. Sure, it's quick and a mini rush, but I do like that his character did manage to improve. And hell, even with season 3 and 4, I do appreciate there is something I can acknowledge his growth of youth, especially how it's known today. And yes, while both him and Alia know each secret identities, at least they can acknowledge each other, and both of them can not hide anything to each other, knowing what take out notes and pretty much more. What I'm saying that Zoe do not have a reason to get to be Miraculous. Unlike Neo, Zoe doesn't really have a good reason, and many people do believe that she does deserve it, but in my opinion, why? My only answer is that she is nicer than Chloe, but just because being nice doesn't mean you earn it. You had to earn it by your own. You had to earn it for a good reason. That's why there's our main media out there that definitely show. But what really sticks me in the end is it's basically a certain scene. Don't keep in mind I had to cut it down to 4 seconds due to copyright, so enjoy this.
But I love you, and I always will, even if the whole world hates you. Remember? We have the same mother. Me this gift. If it comes from Mom, then I'm the one who gets to die our family.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, she lied to her own half-sister so that Chloe can get the miracle charm. Now, for those who don't know what is a magical charm, let me explain. Magical charm is basically a way to make sure that the victim of the kunatization will not be akumatized again. So ever since season 4, they now possess a magical charm by Ladybug so that they will be protected by any future kunatizations. And on that note, Zoe pretty much created worse. She made things worse when she lied that the miracle charm was created by their half-mother. It is just a reason why I don't like this episode. Zoe just created even worse than what before. She just pretty much lied to Chloe, which by the way could result a disaster. If you want to make Zoe be better, then don't make her lie. I understand that you had to lie to sometimes for a necessary reason, but this is not good. This is not right. You just make things worse. And in the end, what we have on this episode, Chloe being broken, forgotten, and even then have been used and abused in the fact that she is pretty much being the way of the careers and writers punching bag at the end. Cause they don't care. All they care is about how Zoe is better and she deserves to be miraculous. But she doesn't, because in the end, she is just there for being Chloe's opposite. Being the fact that she'll always be there to ruin what Chloe's planning to do. And Zoe is just sad. It's just sad. It's really sad how this series became now as in then. And I know there's gonna be a lot of Miraculous fans gonna come after my head. But at this point, I don't really care. At all. This episode ruins and basically the deathbed for this series. That even when making the fact that Carbonara is way better, and I get to see the deserve its own show than what Queen Banana ever gotten. And the best and the worst part is that Tom Anderson created a tweet saying, "Show compassion, give a bad guy a chance, but fail, protect yourself with period responsibility when about it forgotten and abuse of power." Because it means if they was there, stay forever being evil, they will know redemption. It's just bad because it's a dangerous lesson to kids. This episode wanted to give that reason, but it failed. And you're gonna say that, well, not every villain together from the other street doesn't deserve redemption. I disagree. Vegeta is one of the examples of this. Zuko from Avatar just example this because he was the antagonist of the first season, and because of being honored by his father to gain his honor. But as the series goes on, Zuko already honored himself and even honored his uncle, and even led him to becoming the new king, ruler of the Fire Nation. Cause he does deserve redemption by not just the people but also the hero, Aang. So no, what Thomas said about that sometimes that every time there's a villain deserve redemption but always a bad, yeah, they still fight. They always be evil. I disagree because in the end, I do believe that there are some people who do deserve redemption, even for even some worse. And yeah, you have to protect yourself, but even then, characters like Chloe deserve redemption, compassion. It's a dangerous lesson to everything that even takes you to leave a kiss about it. And you know what? Ever since then, in season 2, Chloe had became a better character in terms of what we see. Sure, the first season and half of season 2 mostly as a bully, but we can see that. We can see that Chloe's character became better. Keep in mind, it's not a lot, I'll admit, but there's something you could see. And hey, even then, she does deserve better. She does deserve better to anything. She deserves to be better as a person. This is why I like Chloe in the show, because sometimes even characters deserve to be better, deserve redemption. And even then, I do believe there is hope for Chloe. But the show, the writers, and even Thomas itself do not care. They don't care. They don't care about how much it hurts characters in their own show. It doesn't matter that they don't care of a good story. They only care that they just want it to saying, hey, you don't like this? You like this character? Screw you! Like this new one. It's the exact same example why it's the same reason why I do not like this episode. It's just there being just the opposite, making it worse for the series, especially after the fact that I got off of season 3. And even when they say that with Zoe, Chloe would be better. No, you're not. And I highly doubt that the writers will ever fix her, because how much they already ruined what Chloe once was back in season 2 and 3. And you know what this episode reminded me of? The Last of Us Part 2. Yeah, I said it. Last of Us Part 2. This episode reminded me of Last of Us Part 2. While the animation looked good, the story sucks, the characters are idiots, and even then, the fact that when they count down the fights, it doesn't matter. But you know what else I can say? Unlike Queen Banana, at least I can see The Last of Us Part 2 try to appeal fans. At least it tried to be a story. Keep in mind, I still don't like Last of Us Part 2, maybe because there is some realization, as well as certain character dying and pretty much having a hated character being the more focus. At least I can acknowledge they are trying to do. They're trying to make people like this game. Return for more. Sure, it failed, I'll give you that, but at least there is something they are trying to do. I still don't like the game, especially in the story, but at least I can appreciate it. They are trying to do what mattered. Because in the end, story does matter. Sure, sometimes they screw with their character in this game, but at least they're trying. I'm not supporting the game, it just shows that there is something I do care. And there's something I say to other shows. While I still don't like Loki and the Falcon and Winter Soldier, maybe because I do think it ruins some of my favorite characters, and there are questionable storylines, at least I do appreciate there is something you could say, reason why they're this story based on that. Why is that Falcon and Winter Soldier do care? Why does Loki, from another timeline, deserve redemption? It does show that there are care for the show, for the series, even in the whole. Sure, it's not much, but I'll give this Go Show it completely better and 100% better than Queen Banana. And you know what? This Queen Banana episode does manage to end with a pretty much a logo scene that could become a Hawkmoth, but I don't really care at this point. Because this episode, it doesn't care about anything. And you know what? I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, okay? Ever since Miracle Queen of Season 3, Season 4 is worse now. With the writing, with the episodes that literally can't frustrate me enough. And yeah, there's some good episodes, I'll give you that. But there are more bad episodes than good. This season ruins this series as a whole. And definitely, pretty much, everything I worry and hate. And yeah, say what you will about Volume 5. I will agree there is some bad parts and the idea it does have shown. At least they're trying. At least some of the writing is pretty good. And there is something you could say there is better, and there are reasons why there are people liking this. Say what you will about Red vs. Blue Zero. As much I don't like it, and sadly due to animation, at least they are trying to at least continue the story from after done with the Red vs. Blue teams. At least I can see there is effort to that show. At least there is effort to something I could appreciate, even for the little bits at best, and even the MacGuffins. Say what you will about Dragon Ball GT. As much as just mostly just Goku time, and seriously there's a lot of episodes about it, at least there is something is more appreciated than what Queen Banana or even Season 4 of Miraculous Ladybug could ever done. And you know what? I'm going to reach the level. At least with the movie Star Wars The Last Jedi, at least at that movie they are trying to be appeal to fans. Even though it's just mostly a retelling of the episode 5, Empire Strike Back, at least I do see care. Now at the end of the day, do I really think Thomas Edison is a bad person? No, not really. But as director and writer, he became more toxic than what he is trying to get to the toxic fans that keep harassing him or send death threats, which, by the way, do not do that. It will make things worse. Look at Tom King. But his questionable of reasoning, especially in the show, and even calling him the greatest career out there. Now, even then, some of his tweets are mostly ruining his own reputation too. And by the way, some of his tweets doesn't make sense, and some of them are pretty much in fact he's just saying, well, this show is much better than the others. It's just sad that this episode can easily ruin a season or a series in fact, and that is a nail in the coffin of this episode and the series as a whole. In the end, I don't recommend this episode. I consider this as the worst episode of the series, and there's no joke. And you know what? I think it's time I put in my final score to this shit. The final score for Queen Banana as a whole is a 2 out of 10. I don't know, is better than Miracle Queen? All I care of is even worse than Miracle Queen. It's not even worse. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they manage to do so. But there is one question I do predict that many of you are wondering. Will season 4 get better? I hope so. By now, there are already episodes in production after Queen Banana, including those I do think it already come out, especially in US Disney, like Crocodile, Simple Man, or Entire this video, Dearest Family, but I hope this season get better. If not, then this is the death. And this season killed a once is Miraculous Tales of Ladybug Cat Noir.